We are into the home stretch here in Pac-12 women's volleyball, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a hotter team than the Stanford Cardinal, winners of their last 14 straight, number 8 overall in the land. They welcome in Arizona State tonight, the start of a 4-game homestand to close out the regular year. Greg Meskel here with you inside Maples Pavilion on campus on the farm, where the Cardinal, they have their sights set on the postseason, looking to avoid an upset here against the Arizona State Sun Devils, who have found their 2022 campaign not exactly to their liking. But we begin with the Cardinals. How strong have they been thus far? Well, look what happened prior to September 30th. This wasn't bad. They played a lot of the best teams in the country. They beat some of them, lost to a few, but since a loss at Oregon in 3 sets, they have gone next level. 14-0, hitting above 300. Just about everything dialed in here for Kevin Hambly. A large part of their success, you have to look at the development of Kendall Kipp. As Kevin Hambly says, she has gone from a great athlete who plays volleyball to a really good volleyball player. A true 6-rotation athlete right now, bringing it on all facets. You talk about her kills. Look, almost around 5 a set. Her hitting percentage, the back row attack continues to get better and better, doing it defensively, adding work from the service area as well. So as Kipp has gone as of late, so have the Cardinal. Across the way for Arizona State, a bright spot here, the senior from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Iman Isanovic. She is a focal for Arizona State in a year that has been subpar by their standards. The big swinger here alongside Marta Levinska. Those two have carried the load offensively. If this Sun Devil team is going to pull the upset here against number 8 Stanford, you can expect a big night out of Isanovic. So that's the table setter. We've got Arizona State and Stanford up next here from Maples. Pac-12 action. Cardinal looking for their 15th straight. We'll get you lineups in the first serve when we come back. Hi everyone, welcome back to Maples Pavilion. Just getting ready for the start of Stanford and Arizona State. And let's talk starting lineups here for each of these squads. They have really gotten to a point where they understand their rotations at this stage in the season. Here's the look for head coach Sonja Tomasevic. And we talked about, of course, Isanovic and Levinska. Shannon Shields goes at setter. We could see some of Ella Snyder in the setter role as well. Coach Tomasevic talking about Levinska's play and how that can impact what they do at the center spot. More on that. And now for Kevin Hambly and his Stanford Cardinal starting lineup. You know about Kendall Kipp. Annabelle Smith, she's getting the opportunity here in place of Sammy Francis, who is out with an undisclosed injury. Her return uncertain, and so Smith getting big minutes here alongside a lineup that really, in Hambly's mind, they have all the pieces right now when you talk about being able to compete at that very elite level of college volleyball. It's really dependent on whether Francis can return, and in the meantime, Smith is going to get a chance to show what she can do as we get underway in this one from Maples. And Arizona State will go on the attack to start. A little tip, and that will fall in. And the first point of the evening on cue for Arizona State goes to Iman Isanovic. The senior comes in with 366 kills on the year to lead this Sun Devil squad. And now they'll work on the serve. Here's Miner looking for Baird. That's controlled sky high by Arizona State. They'll work back to Isanovic. Little roll shot, falls in again. So it's interesting. We watched a lot of video of Isanovic at the top, and what you saw was someone that can just blast the ball. But I like a good pitcher taking a little something off of it when that block is closing in and waiting for something with heat. And she goes off speed. It falls in. It's a good start for ASU in front 2-0. Serving here, Shannon Shields. That's going to go too long, make it 3-0 for Arizona State. So a good start here for the underdog Sun Devils. 11-17 on the year, just 5-11 in Pac-12 play. They're coming off a 5-set loss against Washington. And they'll get an error there from the service line. So the first mistake in the early stages here for Arizona State. Stanford picks up the point, and we'll see Cami Miner get the chance here. The sophomore from Redondo Beach the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year a year ago. Sun Devils can go to work in system. That block initially there from Vicini. Cardinal go right back to the outside, and Baird cross court drives home with a kill, and it's 3-2, so a couple in a row now for the Card as Minor will continue to work. First set action here. Yasanovic turned back, and last touch Arizona State. Jelly Sear came over to try and get a piece of that after a monster block from the Card. And we're all level at 3. And Minor will continue. And that's an ace. Cami Minor delivering the ace and putting Stanford in front 4-3. So they have ripped off 4 in a row here after a 3-0 start for ASU. Minor, another player on the Stanford team that has gotten better from last season. Really, really strong players finding ways to improve. They'll go the other side now. A little tip there. Controlled by Stanford. Back row opportunity. And that one's long, and the point to Arizona State. We'll go 4s. And Isanovic to serve. Here's Minor. Quick set. Vicini off the block. Good to go. Quick set from Cami Minor. And McKenna Vicini, the redshirt junior from Lexington, Kentucky. (5-4) Stanford. Katie Baird now serving. That one almost eats up the back row, and Isanovic now they'll go outside, and good dig from Ogilvy. Here's a tip. Rubin on the try. ASU now a little back set with the left. Levinska. Minor now. She'll work it back outside. Isanovic digs it out but can't keep it in play. And the point to Stanford. Second look at the work. Minor to Rubin. And that one sends Isanovic down to the court trying to dig it out. 6-4 Cardinal. With the left. Pretty stuff from Marta Levinska, the junior from Latvia. Isanovic, 366 kills coming in. Levinska right behind her at 324. And they have proven to be a tough duo to deal with. Right-hander Isanovic, left-hander Levinska. Minor looking for Rubin once more. Last touch, Arizona State. And Elia Rubin adds another. The freshman from Brentwood, California. And now Elena Ogilvy, the libero, to serve here. Little tip up front. Kip keeps it alive. More Rubin. This time denied, but Baird is there. Over to Kip. Baird smartly keeps that in play. Back to Rubin off the block, and she has been powering through some Arizona State blocks early. Good beginning for Rubin. 8-5 Stanford, 3 kills for Elia Rubin. Comes in, that's right about at her average per set, a little more than 3 kills a set, 3.05. From the middle now. Right-hand smash is on the money for Claire Jeter. The junior, a transfer from Texas A&M. And here's Levinska to serve. Ace for Marta Levinska. So that's a good beginning for Levinska from the service area. Second look and just mishandled. Baird was there. And Levinska will go to work once more. 8-7 Stanford. This one Baird is able to control. Back to Kipp, and she is denied. We're even at 8. Good coverage there up front by Arizona State. So this is the strategy here that Coach Tomasevich talked about. Levinska in the back row serving. It does leave a setter in Shields up front. If that works well, then they'll keep rolling with it. If not, they'll look to bring in the other setter in Ella Snyder. In the meantime, Stanford gets back to work. And a familiar face. It's been all Elia Rubin as of late here when it comes to Stanford and scoring points. Miner and Rubin have developed some nice camaraderie here. Kipp now to serve. Here's a look for Arizona State. Ogilvy overpass at the net, and a little confusion there because Jelly Sear went up for the kill but ended up delivering the strike on her own side of the net. Cami Miner there to provide defense, and Stanford in front 10-8. Such a smooth block there from Miner. Levinska denied. Shields with a long run. Free ball here for the Card. Miner. Little tip. Oh, good dig. Pancake there. But going long, Arizona State. Little confusion here. Sun Devils thought a tip against Stanford. They started to celebrate. And it looks as if we may see a challenge here. Was there a touch at the net is the question. Classic scenario where you saw the ball go out of play and both teams celebrate as if they had scored the point. Let's take another look at what's under review here. As the challenge called here by Arizona State. As it stands right now, point in favor of Stanford at 11-8. Officials will take a look. Our crew in this one, Eric Asami, John Kenyon. Your referees, line judges Matt Amaral and Tyrone Toloy. Observers Ruth Verbal. And we're towards the end of the regular season now, but this year, the first year of the adjustment to the challenge system. Each team getting to start the match with 2 challenges. If you're correct in your challenge, then you get to keep it, and if not, you lose it. And then, of course, if we go to a 5th set, everyone, and each team will get an additional challenge, and in that 5th set, a max of 2 challenges. This was, of course, tested last season. Favored by coaches around the country, and now put into law here in the 22 campaign. (11-8) Stanford, number 8 team in the country at 20-4 overall, 15-1 in Pac-12 play. They're coming off of a sweep against UCLA last time out. So the point under review right now, as it stands, to Stanford. Out on Arizona State. The debate, was there a touch by the Cardinal? Looks like we have a ruling here. And it has been overturned. So upon review, touch on Stanford, point to Arizona State. Sun Devils will retain that challenge try. And it brings the score to 10-9 in favor of Stanford, with Jelly Sear to serve. Miner, back row Kipp. Block up front. Miner now goes to Rubin. Sun Devils, back set. Block is there. And the point to Stanford. Elia Rubin with the initial opportunity, then comes back on the block. And Elia Rubin really doing the job here in the first, and now we'll see her serve. 11-9 Cardinal. Overpass, a problem, but nice work from Arizona State as they were there first at the net. Claire Jeter at 6'3", the middle blocker up high. Seemed to catch Annabelle Smith off guard. 11-10 Cardinal. Jeter now to serve. Minor set her dump with the left. Pretty stuff. Minor showing off her passing abilities early in this first set, and now seeing an opening for a point and taking it. .66 kills on the year now for Minor. That's into the antenna. And the point will go to Arizona State. Here's Shields. Shannon Shields, a senior, transfer from Louisville. Long pass, but they make it look pretty. Minor hooks up with Baird. Cross court, 13-11 Stanford. Katie Baird has found her rhythm in conference play. Got off to a bit of a slow start in the non-conference, and Kevin Hamley talked about adjustments they had to make, because that was an easy put away for Maccini. It doesn't get much simpler than that on the overpass, but talked about getting Baird into the right scenarios for her to be successful. And we've seen that come to fruition here in conference play, where her numbers are up across the board. Here's Minor. They'll go back, and working the block is Isanovic. Last touch, Stanford. 14-12 now. And Iman Isanovic will serve. She has 4 kills right now, hitting .429 early stages in this one here in the first. Just as we say that, she will sub out, and Meadow Cooper will come on. So Cooper, the sophomore from Temecula, California, she has seen her playing time increase, has largely been a serving specialist for this team, but her chances expanding beyond that in recent weeks. Off the tape, and that one just wide, almost dropped in for an ace. Cooper shakes her head, knows how close that was. And so with that, we will take a timeout. Home team off to a good start. Stanford in front 15-12. Back to Maples after this.
I was thinking, you and I have come to a little arrangement. What you call a team up.
Feel good to get that out?
So satisfying.
All the heroics in one place. See where it takes you. Prime Video.
At Sprouts Farmers Market, we work with local farmers to harvest the most delicious fruits and vegetables that are rushed fresh to our stores. Get great prices on the freshest fruits and vegetables, organic meats, responsibly sourced seafood, fresh baked goods, health and beauty products, and discover the latest delicious good-for-you new food and snack brands. Discover everything you love about a farmer's market right here at Sprouts. Sprouts Farmers Market. Great prices on the freshest produce and so much more.
Pac-12 women's volleyball is brought to you by Clean Simple Eats, elevating life through food and fitness. And by Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12. First set action here. Stanford leading Arizona State 15-12. Greg Meskel here with you from Maples Pavilion. And we get a closer look at Sammy Francis, the sophomore middle blocker for this squad who has missed time, and she's currently out, has not played for this team since October 23rd against USC, and when she's been on the court has been stellar, but missing time now with an undisclosed injury. Her return uncertain, according to Kevin Hambley. Hopeful to have her back at some point, and he talks about what she brings to this lineup. He said earlier this week when she is in the lineup, he feels like they have all the pieces to compete at the very highest level of volleyball. So not to say they cannot win a title without her, but it might make things a little bit easier, so we'll keep an eye on her return later this season with just 4 matches to play before the NCAA tourney begins. And you can see she brings high energy even when she's not playing. A lot of good vibes there to try and cheer her teammates on the sideline, as we see ASU get the kill and bring it back to within 2 now at 15-13. And then the error on the serve attempt. Annika Larson-Neumer too long there. Give the point to Stanford, 16-13. Here's Ogilvy, a junior from Honolulu. Levinska with the left. So strong. All Pac-12 honorable mention a year ago. Competes for her national team in Latvia, has pro aspirations when the college game is done. Minor to Kipp. They've seen that a time or two in this gym. And Kendall Kipp comes through on the kill to give Stanford the 17-14 lead. Overpass here at the net. Second effort, long run. Larson-Neumer tracks it down. They'll have to put this across. Good dig from the back row. Here's Miner, tries to go dump. ASU ready. Rally continues. Miner once more, back set. Again, they'll track it down. Larson-Neumer is there. They'll go back to work, Ogilvy. Here's Miner. Kipp, long range, just long. Good hustle from Arizona State. Annika Larson-Neumer racking up the steps to go hunt down a couple of loose balls. And then as they worked to Kipp, just a little too much on it. Going to have the training staff take a look. Coach Tomasevich on the left side of your screen there. A lot of hustle there from Larson-Neumer. Holding that right shoulder a little bit. Seems to be okay. Hustling to keep that alive, and it resulted in a point for Arizona State on the attack error from Kipp. And so after all that, now we'll have a challenge. Stanford had some time to think about it, and they will call for a challenge on that last play. Net violation is the challenge here from the Cardinal. We saw Arizona State challenge earlier, and they were successful. It was overturned. Let's take a look at what is being reviewed here. That's Kipp. So the question there, was there a touch of the net as Kipp went long? And there's no denying where Kipp's shot landed. It's what happened right around the net there. As you see on the left side of your screen. This might be a better angle of it. First blush doesn't look like Arizona State makes contact there. Jelly Sear and Claire Jeter in the vicinity. And you saw the net was still kind of bouncing up and down, but I think that was from previous contact. Regardless, the officials will take a look. 17-15 Stanford, and again, as it stands here, the point in favor of Arizona State. Kip ruled to have gone long. That's not what's up for debate right now. It's what went on around the net. And here's a look at Coach Tomasevich in her 6th season, and by her own admission, this was not the year they expected. Arizona State coming off a 14-17 campaign, 7-13 in conference, but brought back almost their entire team. And Coach talked this week about perhaps this group took that a bit for granted, as we'll get a look here, and it is upheld, no touch. On the net, that is, and the point stays with Arizona State, but the Sun Devils, they bring back all the key personnel, and Coach Tomasevich suggesting perhaps there was a feeling that we kind of have this thing figured out, and the group was caught off guard by some struggles in the non-conference. Defense there from the Sun Devils. Good closeout on the attack from Stanford, and that brings it back to within 1, 17-16. And just to put a button on that point, there's some things they certainly want to do in this offseason coming up to really make sure they're dialed in for September and August of 23. Minor, Rubin. Oh, beautiful block up front, but it cannot stay in play. You like the hustle here from Arizona State just to get to that. And the way Rubin has been teeing off, they're trying to come over and provide some additional defense. But even when she's denied, it works out. Long pass with the left. And that found the back corner. Shannon Shields, the setter at the net. This is going to be some pretty good accuracy here after the initial block. Shields not waiting for anything, just rockets that to the back corner. And the lefty is on the money. And now an ace. We're tied at 18 here in the first. Arizona State not folding in this opening stanza against the Cardinal. Here's Jeter. Minor on the move. The kill is there for Annabelle Smith. Smith will sub out for the moment. We see Taylor Bevan, Kelly Bellardi come on. Back row, Levinska. Arizona State stays right there. Stanford right back to their bench. And really, that by and large is the group for Stanford. You have your starting lineup. You'll see Bellardi, Bevan, and not much else, of course, with Francis out. Minor looking for Baird. That one into the net and just mistimed as Sear tried to keep it alive, and Sun Devils got tangled up in the net. Minor now with the Cardinal back in front 20-19. Cardinal won 3-1 in Arizona when these two played, but the Sun Devils did win the first set, so looking to repeat that feat here. On the move, the back set. Isanovich controlled by Minor. Here's Kip, gathers it herself. Around the net, right-hand tip. Minor, back to Kip. That goes long. The point there for Arizona State. Let's knot it up again, this time at 20. Sun Devils go back to their bench. Cooper returns. Ogilvy, Minor, right up front. Hammer it down. Vicini. One of the biggest losses from the Stanford team a year ago, Holly Campbell, so strong in front of the net, and that has really opened the door for Vicini to get extended playing time. ASU will take a timeout. 21-20. Stanford in front, Arizona State right there. Sun Devils at 11-17 on the year, 5-11 in Pac-12 play. We mentioned the 3-2 loss against Washington. They have been in their share of matches, and after a tough non-conference where the Sun Devils, they played a very difficult schedule, but so did Stanford, and that's become routine under Coach Kevin Hambley. Year in and year out, they do not shy away from the very best teams. They'll often get the defending champion on their schedule. They will play some of the ranked teams anywhere in the country, often going to their gym. It's fun to see at this level of volleyball. That doesn't happen in every college sport, where a team that has championship aspirations will put themselves out there against the very best around the country just to see where they're at. But the Cardinal do that. Let's talk series history. These numbers will deceive you because as of late, it has been somewhat even. So all time, it's a no-doubter. Cardinal just flat out dominant. But the last 4, they've split them. So of course, Stanford winning earlier this year in Arizona. Last year, Sun Devils pulled off the upset. Could add the qualifier that Cami Minor and Kendall Kipp did not play in that match, but the Sun Devils took the win nonetheless. And then, of course, back in the COVID postponed season, they split. Out of the timeout. The tip here. Kipp tries to just keep that alive. Ends up out of play, and we end up tied at 21. And Larson and Newmer will get the opportunity. The senior from Colorado. Kipp across the way. Last touch, Arizona State. As Elia Rubin adds another. 22-21. Stanford. Rubin leading everyone with 6 kills so far tonight. On 12 attacks, Ogilvy now to serve. Drops that one in, nobody home. The ace is there for Elena Ogilvy. 23-21, Stanford timeout called by Arizona State as they see this one slipping away, card 2 away from wrapping up the first. Ogilvy the latest, but if we look at this first set on the whole, Elliot Rubin, the stellar freshman, has been clicking for the Cardinal. She brings the heat from that outside position. Works so well with Cami Minor. And even when the block appears to be in her way, can find a way through it or can work it to her advantage. Here's what we've seen from Rubin so far this year. 5 times the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. Her numbers in Pac-12 play. Aces as well, and you just really can't ask for a better freshman campaign. And to come into this program and to make an immediate impact as a freshman, there have been many highly rated players that have come to Stanford as freshmen, and they've had to battle to get their turn. There's just too much talent ahead of them. It's not that they're not good. There's just All-Americans everywhere you look. How do you get past that in the lineup? So for Rubin to come out from really day one and make an immediate impact, that says something about her abilities. There's a certain Oregon Duck that might keep her from winning Pac-12 Freshman of the Year honors, but more on that later as we get back to it. Ogilvy serving. Arizona State controls this one. Card can go to work. Here's Kipp, hammer it down, and we quickly have set point here in the first. Kendall Kipp all smiles as she sets up set point. They're on their feet here in Maples as Ogilvy will look to close out the opener here against Arizona State. They'll go outside. And that one is good to go for Levinska. So Marta Levinska, 5 kills as advertised. Imani Isanovic, 4 kills. The names you know when it comes to Arizona State offense. Sun Devils make some defensive changes here. Ella Snyder coming on to work that serve from the back row in place of Levinska. Still set point for the Cardinal here in the first, 24-22. As Snyder comes on to serve. Minor, back set, Kipp, off the block. Larson Newmer keeps it going. To the outside now. Last touch, Stanford. Minor tracks it down. Ogilvy works to Kipp. Kipp, the kill is there. That's all for the first as she blasted off Larson Newmer. And Stanford will take the opener 25-22. So the freshman, Elia Rubin, delivers the offense throughout, and the veteran, Kendall Kipp, closes it out. Stanford picks up the first. Second set when we return to the farm. First set in the books here at Stanford. Cardinal take it over Arizona State 25-22, but the Sun Devils, they had strong hustle from Annika Larson-Newmer, the libero, and her time at Arizona State, well, you could certainly call it a family affair. Here's Annika Larson-Newmer on the women's volleyball team, and now if you're a wrestling fan at ASU, well, you might recognize Josh Newmer. He does the job at the 174-pound weight class, and these two getting together and recently married. Check out the proposal. That's pure excitement right there. Love the expressions there. I think she was surprised. Now we go wedding here, and there are some Sun Devils in the picture here. That's Ella Snyder on the right side of the photo in the orange dress. I'm no fashionista here, but we'll give it a shot. And then on the top left side of your screen, that's another key piece of the ASU wrestling attack. He's kind of blocked out here. He doesn't get blocked by many people. Colton Schultz, the heavyweight, 285 pounds, 2-time Pac-12 champion. And a lot of energy there and excitement, and congrats to the happy couple. Annika Larson-Newmer and husband Josh Newmer as well. Good hustle from Annika Larson-Newmer in that first set, running all over the court to keep things alive. 6 digs, as you look at some of her vitals here. And what doesn't show up in the stat sheet, of course, you have the digs, but just all the ground she covered to try and keep plays alive here for Arizona State. And that's one thing that Coach Tomasevic talked about this week as well. Even though this season is not going to turn out how they wanted, and they know for sure they are eliminated from the postseason, they have no chance at the NCAA tourney. But she said it's been fun to be around this team. They're a good group of young women, and she enjoys coaching them. And the challenge for them now, as she talked about it, leading up to this trip to the Bay Area, they'll have Cal on Saturday, is, okay, we're disappointed in ourselves. We had some hefty goals for this year. They have not happened. So where do we find the motivation? How does each individual person stay motivated? Is it for a senior on the team? Is it their own ego? What do they have to do to generate the motivation to still play hard and try? And I think you saw a motivated team in that first set. As we're underway here in the second, here's Baird. That'll motivate a squad. Right hand, good to go, and it's a 1-0 start for Stanford. Stanford turning to Bilardi to serve here. That's wide, and the point to the Cardinal. 2-0. This will go to the outside with the left, just kind of punching that across is Sear. Minor looks for Baird. And she'll go wide on that attack effort. tried to place that exactly where she placed the initial kill of this second set, and just a little too long. That'll make it 2-1. Sear serving. She's played whatever role this team has needed. Here's the tip up front, and Vicini drops that in. Vicini now 4 kills. Stanford side out percentage just north of 70. ASU a little shy of 60. They'll go outside here. Rubin able to control that. Here's Baird. Off the block, second effort from Shields. A meeting at the net, we play on. Way up top for Baird. She goes and gets it. Sun Devil block is ready. Back row now. And Rubin blasts it off the back row of Arizona State for the kill. Number 7 on the night for Elia Rubin. Outside. Through that block, Minor. Quick set up front. Vicini. A 4-1 lead. Make it 5-1. Stanford on a 3-0 run. And that's an ace. Add another. 6-1. Cami Minor, too hot to handle. 6-1 Stanford, her second ace of the night, 14th on the year. This is trouble again. Minor now. Kip trying to keep it alive as Larson Newmer lays out, but can't do it. Kip with the kill. 7-1 Stanford, timeout called by Arizona State, and we will step aside as well. So ASU battled in the first, Cardinal taking control early here in the second.
This week on Pac-12 Tailgate, we're getting our bearings with the Cal Bears, live from Berkeley.
Pac-12 women's volleyball is brought to you by Watch Sports, the official live event guide of the Pac-12. Download today. All Stanford here in the second, 7-1. They lead Arizona State, trying to leave no doubt after they had to grind it out in the first. And Cami Minor, previously a Pac-12 Player of the Week, previously an AVCA National Player of the Week for her efforts, continues to serve. And right up front, Kendall Kipp takes control. And at 6'5", she is a tough matchup for the 5'10" Shannon Shields. So Minor continues. Again at the net. That's a nice idea from Shields. Minor quickly goes to Vicini. Block is there for the Cardinal. That's too long. Isanovich on the attack. Frustration there as that went too long. We may see a challenge here to see if there is a touch from the Cardinal, and when you're down 9-1, why not? Try and stop the bleeding here some way. You're talking about a Stanford team that's on a 7-0 run, so Tomasevich going to see if she can slow things down here. She knows how difficult it is to defeat this Stanford team. She talked about their squad having essentially all-stars at every position. But that her team typically relished the chance to play elite competition, got up for those matches, and think we saw that in the first. What it so often happens, especially as you get towards the end of a season where you know there's no postseason ahead, you make that big push early, and if it doesn't go your way, it's tough to stay motivated to keep it going. By no means is this Arizona State team giving up in this match, but it just does become challenging to keep rolling that boulder uphill. As we talk upcoming schedule, they'll head to Berkeley this weekend. Bears have had their struggles, but they have put a scare into a couple of teams lately, going 5 with the LA schools. They're in action tonight against Arizona, then Utah, and then a nice rivalry bout against Arizona on the 26th. As we look at what is ahead for the Sun Devils. So currently the ruling too long on the Osanovich attack. Reviewed to see if there was a touch. Official word has come in, and it will stay as it was called. Long on Isanovich, and the point to Stanford. So that's a lost challenge right there for ASU. And Cami Minor is getting some extra work here at the service line. Sun Devils a little out of sorts. They get it going. Now Baird. Larson Newmer again giving up the body. Isanovich, that was last touch Stanford. And finally, Arizona State stops a 7-0 run for the Card as Iman Isanovich is able to convert. She's been an absolute iron woman for this Arizona State squad. Played every set last year. Minor, quick look, easy money up front. Vicini. (10-2) Stanford. Baird to serve. Roll shot, good to go. There's a running joke on the Arizona State team that Isanovich is their out-of-system specialist. She said to the coaching staff, you're familiar, of course, with the defensive specialist. What about an out-of-system specialist? That's a job she's taken on. And says she doesn't mind if we're a little out of sorts, if there's a bunch of blockers in the way, it's fine. Just send it to me and I'll see what I can do. Kendall Kipp right back to work. 11-3. And she has 6 kills. So the Cardinals scorers, Rubin with 7, Kipp and Vicini 6 apiece, Baird with 4. And here's Ogilvy. Back set, block. That is stuffed by Rubin. Thumbs up indeed. Good look at this. Rubin sends that one back. Error here from Ogilvy. Make it 12-4. That's about the only way Arizona State has seen a point here in this second set. Stanford hasn't made many mistakes. Now Isanovich. And that's into the stands, an ace. Isanovich coming through for Arizona State. The senior has another year of eligibility. Nothing official, but they're optimistic she will return. And comes through with the ace there. Trying to start a rally here, but a little too long. Aggressive serving, and understandably so, facing the deficit. Like so many teams, Tomasevich and Arizona State talked about serve receive, those fundamentals. If things aren't going well, start, serve, receive. Passing also has been a bit of an Achilles heel for this ASU squad. Cardinal able to keep it alive with some quick thinking. Minor right in the center of the action once again. Rubin denied. Claudia Stulke. Now 13-6. Sun Devils starting to put a couple of things together here in the second. Minor once again, the quick set, this time Annabelle Smith on the run. Annabelle Smith now 2 kills as Rubin will serve. That's a nice set, but a block is there from Stanford. Kip back row, denied, but it is out of play. Hambly talked about Kip really focusing on the back row attack last year, but that now this season is where she's really gotten strong at it. Arizona State debating a challenge. Looks as if there was a thought to challenge, and now they'll pass. 15-6. ASU just one challenge left here until we would get to a potential 5th set. With the right, Ogilvy standing in to take it, and now Minor. The last touch Cardinal. Block up front wasn't enough to slow down Jelly Sear. Sophomore, fantastic name, Jelly Sear, out of Flower Mound, Texas. Listed as an outside hitter, they put her in at libero against Washington last time out and did a nice job. Will do whatever the team needs. Here's Snyder. Now Minor, a little short attempt there from Smith. Up front, and Jeter. Smith slow to come over and try and close that block, and Claire Jeter able to tee off. 15-8. Minor with the left. Larson Newmer was ready for it, tried to keep it alive, but it ended up on the back of a teammate as Jaden Ravensburg had come on. And now Bellardi returns. Bellardi and Rubin from the same Marymount School in Southern California. Outside Baird. Larson Newmer again there. Minor wins that battle for the moment at the net, and last touch Arizona State as Maddie McLaughlin came on and found herself up close and personal with Cammie Minor. Timeout called by the Sun Devils. 17-8, Stanford leads. Told you Cammie Minor won a couple of awards earlier in the year. Let's take a look at the current award winners as we go around the Pac-12. Cougs represented Ogilvy right here at Stanford. Kevin Hambly raving about her development as a libero and becoming one of the absolute best. And then if Ellie Rubin's not going to win Pac-12 Rookie of the Year, the reason why, well, it'd be Mimi Collier. Yes, her 7th award this season. Just an offensive dynamo for the Ducks. Look at those numbers, 5 kills a set. No surprise. And you look down the list, it's just Rubin Collier. They actually go through a couple of spurts when you look at the whole season. It's Collier 3 or 4 in a row, Rubin 3 in a row, back to Collier. No one else has gotten a word in edgewise when you talk about the most elite freshmen in this conference. Who knows? Could be back to Rubin next week. Ogilvy getting the honor this week. Taking a breather now. Velarde, that Marymount team that she was a part of, 35-0, and then they won all the titles, all the championships you could win. CIAF, which is the California High School Federation, won their section, won the state, won a national title. A blast there, and Rubin controls it. Baird. Well, back row push. Rubin ready. More Baird. Jelly Sear controls. Tries to return fire. Little tip shot. Minor is on the scene. Baird, third crack at it. Larson Newmer sends it sky high. Now Velarde. Minor. Outside. Baird. The block is on the money for Arizona State. And they get the last word on the lengthy rally. 17-9. Sear to serve. Minor to Kip from the back row. Last touch, Arizona State. And how you slow down a thunderous attack like that? Not too sure. 18-9 Stanford. A near ace, but we play on. Minor takes a look. Goes the quick option to Vicini. If it's going to happen fast, it's likely going to end up with McKenna Vicini right in front of the net. That's been a theme so far tonight. And ace is there for Minor. They let it go and give a little touch to it, actually, officials will signal. So Cami Minor gives Stanford a 20-9 advantage here in the second. They are running away with this one. Almost an ace there again, as Isanovic was not ready. Keeps swinging. Baird goes tip. Good dig there. Sear, Ogilvy, Kip. The kill. The Kendall Kip tip. 21-9. Overpass. Oh, Kendall Kip slams that down. 22-9. This is not the person you want to overpass to. (22-9). Isanovic denied, but out of play, and the point to the Sun Devils. That stops a 5-0 run for the Cardinal. Baird just gets that across. Isanovic. Now Kip on the other side. And that will go out of play. Such heat on that, it ricocheted off of Jeter and all the way across the net and out of play. Too long. This is coming right at you. Let it go. 23-10. And the kill is there for Maddie McLaughlin. The SUNY transfer. Just limited playing time. And she will take a breather now. But gets the kill there. And Shields will work on the serve. 23-11 here in the second. Vicini. Too easy. And 24-11 is the score, and set point has arrived here in the second. Now 8 kills for Vicini. And Ogilvy serving for the set here in the second. Off the block. Ogilvy to Kip. Sun Devils blocked. And up front, it's Annabelle Smith with the defensive effort to seal the second. 25-11, Stanford in convincing fashion. They go in front 2-0. They'll look to make it a clean sweep here over the Sun Devils after this timeout. It was a good battle in the first. The second, a different story. The Cardinal leaving no doubt. Number 8 in the land, acting like it, defeating Arizona State 25-11. Third set on tap. Let's take a look back at what has transpired thus far. And for the Cardinal, you can look at 3 athletes on offense that have really told the story. The star freshman, Elia Rubin, playing so well in her opening campaign on the farm. And tonight, 7 kills, and she really was a key piece of that first set. You see her abilities here. Cami Miner, she's getting everyone involved with now 24 assists. In the middle, McKenna Vicini. They have set up a host of quick looks for Vicini, and she almost appears to be spring-loaded. Rises up off the court so fast and is able to hammer them down. And then, you know who's coming next, Kendall Kipp. 11 kills, a leader on this Stanford team, and well, those are ones she can put away in her sleep, but she's also made some challenging attacks, and there's such heat on the ball. It's tough for even the best defenders to get in front of as we look at our numbers here after 2 sets. And again, you wouldn't be shocked to find all the important data trending in favor of the Cardinal. Talk about kills, your hit percentage, digs. Although credit Arizona State, again, the score not reflective of the effort that they're putting forward and hustling to try and track things down. This is a team that hasn't mailed it in here against Stanford, but they find themselves up against it. Cardinal in front 2-0. They'll look to put a bow on this one. Third set on the way after these messages. Pac-12 Women's Volleyball is brought to you by Clean Simple Eats, elevating life through food and fitness, and by Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12. Well, Saturday, it's a Pac-12 football triple header as the Wildcats host the Cougars. The Cardinal and Bears square off in what can only be known as a true big game. It's 125th overall, also the 40th anniversary of that play. The band is on the field, you know the one. And then rounding things out, of course, you have Colorado and Washington. And you can watch it all starting with coverage this Saturday at 10 a.m. on the Pac-12 Network, or download and stream wherever you are with Pac-12 Now. Kendall Kipp looking on as Arizona State will get us started here in the third. Stanford in front 2-0. Kipp right back to work. And why wouldn't she be? 1-0, the lead for Stanford. Cardinal looking to make it 15 in a row here in Pac-12 play. This is what Kevin Hambley had in mind, talked about it as a slow, steady progression. Continuing to get better across the board. Kipp. Another back-to-back kills. And you look at the schedule, and when you're number 8 in the country and you see the record of your opposition, it's what some might call a trap game, as the kill is there for Cami Minor, 3 in a row. Coaches are always guarding against us. How do we avoid the upset? And, well, it doesn't look like that's a problem tonight for Stanford, but within this Cardinal program, they really talk about their style of play and how they approach everyone like they're the best. Like it's the first round of the NCAA tournament and it's a must-win situation, and it's all part of that breeding of, they call those championship habits, as Arizona State stops the run. So make it 3-1 now. Here's Isanovic. 7 kills to lead the Sun Devils, but just hitting 143, so she'll try and up her productivity here. Of course, we jinx her there as she goes into the net on the service error. So make it 4-1 Cardinal. Ravensburg comes on for Arizona State. And Baird will serve. Too long. And Sear, we told you that she was pressed into libero duty against Washington. Well, she's got the yellow on again. Again, whatever this team needs. Here's Minor up front. Vicini with the tip. Sun Devils on the attack. And the point will go to Arizona State. And that's Roberta Habello. And I was wondering when we would see her in this match, getting her first minutes of the night here. She was a bright spot when these two got together earlier in the year in Tempe. 12 kills not lost to Stanford. Block attempt there. Now to Kipp. Good with the left from Levinska. Now Rubin into the antenna. That's off the Sun Devils. And the point to the Cardinal. But Habello, the junior from Brazil, getting some time here. As Ogilvy will serve with Stanford in front 5-3. And here's Habello with the tip. Back row. That one nearing the scoreboard. Doesn't quite get there. Free ball now for the Cardinal. Minor. Kipp tries to direct that one towards the floor. Good dig from Arizona State and Levinska. And now Rubin tees off but is denied. It's Kipp. Levinska took something off of that. Cardinal can go to work. Kipp, a big swing. Back to Levinska. She is stuffed. Smith and Rubin closing the door. And that was Rubin to polish it off. Nowhere to go with two Cardinals standing in the way. Little back set. Habello. Levinska with pure fire. Too hot to handle for Cami Minor. Levinska, Isanovic, they relish the role of being the primary offensive pieces. Rubin slams that off the block. Ogilvy keeps it alive. Kip, cross court. 7-4 Stanford. Tough one for Levinska to handle. Rubin rockets it off of the diving Sear. Eight for Stanford, 9 kills for Rubin, hitting .300 right now. That dances off the tape. Taking something off of it is Claire Jeter. Claire Jeter from Texas A&M to Arizona State. From the state of Texas, A&M, that was the place she dreamt of going. Went there, tried it, decided to go elsewhere. This was when transfer rules were a little bit more challenging. She couldn't stay within her conference and had connected with the ASU staff previously, and once she knew she couldn't stay in the SEC, the Pac-12 and the Sun Devils, that was an easy call as the point to the Cardinal. More Rubin, 10 kills. That's outside. Tried to paint that back corner. And here's Meadow Cooper. That's an ace for Cooper. Serving her specialty. Second look at that knuckleball of sorts that comes right in on Baird. Aggressive serving, but she goes wide. And it's back to the Cardinal. Officials checking with the scorers table here. Looks like they may have consulted with the scorers table, perhaps a rotation violation by Stanford. That looks like what they're determining right here. Kevin Hambley stating his case. I'd gather that everyone rotated in correct fashion. This is a bit the equivalent of batting out of order if you're a baseball or softball fan. Trying to read lips here, but the way he's gesturing, I gather he's talking about placement on the court, who went where when. Officials do have headsets. They can speak to each other without having to go near each other, so that's what you see sometimes when they're talking into the microphone. The up referee can speak to the down official. Those two are connected via headset. Officials back to the scores table. We'll see if we get Some clarification here. This was the claim from Arizona State that Stanford was out of rotation. So we'll look to get some official word on that shortly. Currently, as it stands, Stanford in front 10-7. So officials discuss, and they do not make the out of rotation call. We continue on. It was 10-7, now the point for Arizona State, make it 10-8. Shields now to serve. Little float serve there. Rubin, back row kip. Shields was in the vicinity. Trying to catch laser beams there on the back row. 11-8. If it feels like Cami Minor has been serving this entire match, well, there have been some stretches where Stanford has gone on runs with Minor taking care of the service. Back row. Minor keeps that alive. Here's Baird. Good dig there from Larson Newmer. That's off the Cardinal block. That's a point for Isanovic. Ravensburg on. The Kansas State transfer. Made her freshman year at Kansas State, now with Arizona State. Shields gets a piece of that. Here's Habello. Minor. Violation. Call a double hit against the Cardinal. Make it 11-10. So a nice bounce back effort here from Arizona State. You'd understand if after that second set, and you're already down 2-0, it'd be tough to find the energy as Vicini doing what she does best, answering quickly. But Sun Devils hanging tough in this one. So we were talking about Elia Rubin. You're a freshman, you come in, you make an immediate impact. McKenna Vicini, a bit of the opposite. Redshirt junior from Kentucky, joined a squad that was just absolutely stacked. If you go back a couple of years ago talking about title teams, as Habello comes through there with a kill. And so you think back to Vicini, 2019 plays in just 7 sets the entire year, 6 kills, 6 blocks. Look at that progression now to this 2022 campaign. Starting lineup, vital piece of the attack at the middle blocker spot. 120 plus kills coming into tonight, 100 plus blocks, and has carved out a key role on this Stanford team. So it happens at different paces, on different timelines for athletes, but both Vicini and Rubin getting to where they want to be here at the college level. Rubin halted for the moment. Now Kip. Habello tooling that block again. She's worked that well, so didn't play the first and second, is coming here in the third and been a nice jolt of energy. She pushed Arizona State in front 13-12. Sear serving. Kip attacking. More Habello. Roberta Habello getting the chance here on the attack. Arizona State in front 14-12. They lost the second 25-11. Battling here in the third. 4 kills now for Habello. Off the block, Shields almost into the bench to hunt that down. It's Habello's opportunity. She's blocked here. Levinska denied, but it's out of play. The point to Arizona State. They go in front 15-12. So the Sun Devils, no plans on going out in 3 on this night. Up 3 in the third. We're back after this. In the big game, that's always fun. Whenever Stanford and Cal get together, it's the big something. They just had the big splash and water polo. That was all Cal. The big spike is coming up as we look at McKenna Vicini. 9 kills today, and you might call that hitting percentage efficient, over 800. So doing the job here, also a dig and a block. That's an error for Sear, and it's 15-13. Arizona State pushed the Cardinal in the first before succumbing by 3. It was a no-doubter in favor of the home squad in the second. And now ASU. They were up 3, now 2 with Ogilvy serving. Ogilvy, and they ran out of opportunities there as Jeter coming through on the kill. Jeter, her productivity dropping off a bit after last year, but has had some fiery moments here tonight. Now hitting 400. She's got 4 kills, 3 blocks. Kip with the tip. Sun Devils ready for it. Habello. Last touch, Arizona State. As the point goes to Elia Rubin. Kip on the serve. Setter dump. They'll play it off the net. Try and return fire. Kip laying out. Rubin tees off, and that's wide. Habello. Arizona State thrilled to have her efforts here in the third after not playing in the first 2 sets. She has been a welcome addition here in the third. Rubin. Isanovic. Back out to Rubin, goes down the line. Good to go. Elia Rubin, as well as she has played all season, you look at her stats over the last 4 and not really where she wants to be. A couple of sub 100 hitting percentages, as that's long on the serve. Single digit kills in 3 of the last 4. But here tonight, returning a bit to form. 12 kills, 286, and that's also how it's going to go sometimes in your first year. Some ups and downs for sure in what is a no doubt fantastic season, as there's a kill for Jeter. (19-15). Here's a second look at the ace for Jeter. And then Jeter gives one back, but she's provided a boost. 19-16. Velarde on to serve, and a chance here now for Stanford to try and get back in the lead here, at least draw a little bit closer. Arizona State really intent on forcing a fourth. Reaching back is Rubin. Minor with the left. She's denied. Tip there, rolling along the tape. And then into the net. That was Shields. Might have rushed that a bit, but again, you see a lot of activity around the net trying to catch the other side off guard. We've seen the setters look for opportunities to try and make a quick deposit. Isanovich halted. They go back to her. Off the block there. Baird. That tip shot controlled. Levinska. Here's Baird again. Sear keeps it alive. Levinska floating with the left. Back row, Rubin. And the point to Arizona State. That's long from Rubin. Make it 20-17, Arizona State. Here's Shields. Too long. 20-18. And now Cami Minor. 33 assists, 4 aces, 13 digs, 2 blocks for the sophomore from Redondo Beach. Another standout performance. Isanovich. A touch is called, and the point to Arizona State. On the kill. 21-18. Isanovich now 9 kills. And she'll serve here. And she goes into the net. So Arizona State giving one back there. And they've had some chances to try and put this one away in this third set. Katie Baird now with a chance, as you see the service errors for the Sun Devils. 10 of those today, just 4 for Stanford. Outside Hobello. And now the look for Kipp. And Kendall Kipp with her 16th kill. Ogilvie knows where she wants to go with the ball, and that's Kendall Kipp. Right past the block and down. Levinska. Back to Kipp. Levinska again. Dug out, but out of play. And that's beyond the antenna, and the point is there for Marta Levinska and the Sun Devils. So Levinska 9 kills, Isanovich 9 kills. Your leaders for Arizona State. Jelly Sear to serve. ASU in front by 2 here in the third. Rubin tries to find that back row and a little too much on it. Make it 23-20 Arizona State, and they can sense it now. And with that, Kevin Hambley will take a timeout. 23-20. Sun Devils looking to force this one to at least 4 sets. And you have to credit the resiliency of this Arizona State team. Coach Tomasevich talked about one of their struggles has been when they have a bad moment, they have to let go of it. She compared them to Dory in the Finding Nemo movies. Have a short-term memory, please. Let go of those moments, move on to the next, and they've kind of done it here. You take a 25-11 loss in the second for a team that knows they won't be reaching the postseason. They're down 2-0. You'd understand if they started looking to the next match, but they have come out with great energy here in the third, have taken some strong pushes from Stanford, and they find themselves now just 2 points away Let's look at the balanced attack from the Sun Devils. Of course, Isanovic, 9 kills, a leader on this squad. But then getting help elsewhere. Claire Jeter from the service area, not just up front. On the middle, the left-hander, Marta Levinska, 9 kills as well. She's hitting .300, adding 7 digs. And then you have to talk about number 18 right there, center of your screen, Roberta Habello. She played well when these two got together in Tempe. 12 kills there. She didn't play the first 2 sets. Comes in here in the third, already 4 kills and a dig. So they have looked for her, and she has made the most of the opportunity. 23-20 now, out of the timeout. They work for Kip, and she goes cross court, a Kendall Kip kill. 17 kills, and Kendall Kip double figures in kills in every match this year except the season opener. So she continues to deliver offensively. To the outside, Levinska. A violation. It will go against Stanford. And this will bring up set point for Arizona State. Sun Devils trying to force a 4th set tonight in Maples. Here's Levinska. Minor, Rubin. A cross-court blast, 24-22, still set point for the Sun Devils here in the third as Kip will serve. Kip will try and bring the Cardinal back from the brink here in the third. Back row, Levinska, and Arizona State with an excellent bounce back effort here in the third. They push it to a 4th set with a 25-22 victory. Marta Levinska and company working their way back into this match. A 4th set is ahead here inside Maples. No quit in this Arizona State team, down 2-0 into the third set. They hang tough the whole way and pick it up 25-22 to push us to 4 as we look back at a balanced diet for the Sun Devils in our third set. Their key pieces on offense, Marta Levinska, Iman Isanovic coming through with big plays, and then the addition of Roberta Habello, who made her debut tonight after sitting out the first 2 sets. She, along with Claire Jeter, coalesced into a really nice effort for Arizona State in that third set. And every time Stanford started to knock on the door, Kendall Kip already with 17 kills, Elia Rubin with 13. It seemed as if the Cardinal might make a push and get things rolling downhill in their favor. Sun Devils hung tough. They made a play defensively, a hustle play, a key block, an offensive move, and made sure that they would not go quietly tonight. As we look at the efforts for Levinska, a junior from Latvia, as an all Pac-12 selection in her freshman year, all Pac-12 honorable mention a year ago. And as we talked about, relishes her role on this team. Levinska and Isanovic, they know that they have to carry the bulk of the offense, and they've told their teammates, don't feel bad for us. We enjoy this. We like being the targets on offense. And they have answered the call in the third here tonight as we now start the fourth. Bellardi serving for the Cardinal. We'll get a violation. And we'll get a back row attack error on Arizona State to the point to Stanford. Bellardi again. Habello denied. Vicini up close and personal. To the outside. Off the block, laying out for that one. It was Bevan, but couldn't keep it alive. Into our fourth set now. You look at side-out numbers, and for Arizona State, 62% in the first, where they were right there with Stanford. Big dip to 36% in the second, and then they climb back up to 72% in the third. Kendall Kipp from the back row loads up the cannon. And Jelly Sear, the beneficiary of that attack in the wrong sense of the word. She got all of it and went out of play. 3-1 Stanford. Back set here. Working the block. And that's Levinska. Talking about side out, conversely, Cardinal at 64% in the third. That was their worst of the night. Minor. Baird with the right, just a tip. Habello is stuffed. J.D. Baird. 4-2 Cardinal. And now Baird, All-America pick a year ago. Nearly 500 kills for this Stanford team. Here's Levinska from the back row. Too much heat on that. (5-2) Stanford. Tough to handle there, but Habello cleans it up. So a little sloppy to start, but Habello gets a clean swing on it and makes it count. Now 5 kills, and talked about Habello getting her chance in that third. Serving here. Rubin gets low and then gets her chance and tools that block. Make it 6-3, but we're talking about Habello. One of the problems, if you're an outside hitter on the Arizona State Sun Devils, well, guess who you're stuck behind? Imani Sonovich and Marta Levinska. Those two are going to see a lot of court time. It's hard to break in there and get a chance. Speaking of, Ivanovic tries to go cross court to no avail. She's had 200+ kills in every season with the Sun Devils. The now senior. Ogilvy targeting Ivanovic. She'll get a chance here. Kipp all over that. So they might give Smith the credit there. Either way, point to the Cardinal, 8-3. Elena Ogilvy now. A near ace. Instead, she has to backpedal to keep that going. It leads to this Elliott Rubin smash. Ogilvy just does enough to keep it alive, and it results in a Rubin kill. She's got 15 of them tonight, and Stanford's in front 9-3 here in the fourth. Minor with the dig. Here's Rubin. Has to go up and get it. And Jeter wasn't ready. Elia Rubin shrugs the shoulders. She'll take it because Stanford's in front 10-3. Arizona State's calling for time. And the Cardinal looking to put to rest any thoughts of an upset from the visitors.
This week on the pregame.
Week 12 of the college football season has us in Bear territory. In the last couple of years in the big game, some dramatic finishes. So obviously this game means a lot to quite a few people, doesn't it, Shane?
Yeah, absolutely. This game means a lot, not just to Cal, not just to Stanford, but the alumni. This is just a special weekend for the Bay Area.
We're getting you set for the 125th big game live from Cal, Saturday at 10:30 on Pac-12 Network, presented by Paycor.
Just a game changer.
And it's in the back of the net.
She gave that ball what it deserved. Expect to be in the NCAA tournament every single year. Diving stop. He can tack on another point. That was an amazing play.
They're Pac-12 royalty.
The Huskies are up. An offensive dynamo. The Cal Bears have won the national championship. Phenomenal power. Fired to the back of the net.
These are the best teams in the country.
Fourth set action here. Number 8 Stanford leading Arizona State 10-3, looking to close it out here before. Now we've touched a lot on the offense tonight, but we got to show love to the setters here in the Pac-12. Look at the numbers. What depth across the conference when you talk about all these athletes. And Ella Mae Powell, 2-time Pac-12 setter of the year, and at least from a stats standpoint, right, behind these other three, not to say she's had any drop-off in her game. And then we've seen tonight what Cami Minor can do, coming in averaging a little more than 11 assists a set, and just right there amongst the Trojans and the Ducks as well. And for Minor tonight, 37 assists, 4 aces, 15 digs. And when you mention what Elia Rubin is able to do, what Kendall Kipp is able to do as Arizona State gets the point, how much easier is all of that for those studs when they're getting set up by someone like Cami Minor? It all works well together, and Minor, the latest excellent setter to come through the farm. And that's an error. You go back a couple of years and you watch these Stanford teams and think, okay, well, how do you replace Jenna Gray and Morgan Hens? Where are we going to find another setter and libero like that that just works so well in tandem? And then you turn on the Pac-12 network tonight and say, well, maybe they've got to figure it out. Cami Minor, Elena Ogilvie, again, not to get into comparisons of different eras, but not too bad when you talk about those two positions. And by not too bad, we mean pretty good, as Ogilvie finishes that off that play. Oh, excuse me, that was Rubin. So Ogilvie there in the center of your screen, however. Kipp serving. And that's last touch, Stanford on the attack from Isanovic. So double figures in kills now for both Isanovic and Levinska. 13 for Levinska, 10 for Isanovic. Levinska a bit more economical on the hitting percentage at .346 right now, as that floater almost dropped in for Shields. Isanovic, they'll say no. So out of play. Initially, Sun Devils thought that one was in. Thought Tomasevic might make a move for the challenge card. Did not, as Stanford has bolstered their lead here 13-5. Overpass and Minor. Two-hand put down. Off the tape, but controlled. Isanovic, cross court. Isanovic, I don't think she saw that it touched off Kipp and was frustrated with herself. Let's get a second look here. So that goes cross court. I don't think she realized that it was touched by Kipp. She's thinking, how could I do it? It went long. You tell her, wait, you got the point. And so she apologizes to the official. And that'll make it 14-6. With Ravensburg to serve. Minor, Kipp, back row. That was blocked. This is a problem, but Baird cleans it up. Cardinal out of sorts. Ball deflecting off of Minor, ends up across the net. But Katie Baird, cool, calm, collected, puts that away. And Kelly Bellardi now with a 15-6 lead. And serving. Shields tries to go a little creative with a long back tap to Levinska. And that caught her a little off balance. That will lead to a timeout called here with Stanford in front 16-6. Sun Devils will talk things over. Back and forth in the first, all Cardinal in the second. Again, it was Arizona State leading the charge in the third. Stanford there every step of the way, but the Sun Devils take it by 3. And now in the fourth, it's a bit like what we saw in the second, where Stanford in command. And this is a team, again, that we've talked about, 8th in the country. They have their sights set on the postseason and a lengthy run. The expectations on this campus are the national championship. As we check in on the rest of the Pac-12, over in Berkeley, Arizona and Cal. Bears looking for that elusive first win in Pac-12 play this year. Maybe they get it tonight. Meanwhile, Arizona will be in this gym on Saturday. We'll have that for you on the Pac-12 network. And then you look about the rest of the conference, and this is what's transpiring tomorrow. Good showdown there between the Bruins and the Ducks. Other ranked teams in action, Washington State and Washington. And as we are into the final weeks here of the regular season, all these teams trying to make their case for the postseason. Of course, your conference champ knows they'll go, but then where does everyone else stand when you talk about postseason resumes and RPI? And Stanford, of course, they want to finish strong and just continue to be a juggernaut going into the NCAAs, where they'll likely host competition here. But the entire conference trying to really build their case to get multiple teams in to the NCAA tourney. Bello. She'll get it again. And that one works. Second time is the charm for Roberta Habello. Here's Jelly Sear. Started out as an outside hitter, needed her in the libero spot. They've put her in. She goes long here on the serve. Sear with 7 digs, though, tonight, switching over to the libero position. She had 10, and she took on a similar role against Washington. And they really value her passing as well. That goes long there on the serve. 17-7 Stanford. Rubin controlling from the back row, and here's Baird. That one is up high. And now back to Habello, and she is stuffed, but we play on. Habello on the run, denied again, off her foot, keeps it alive. At the net, Kipp! And Kendall Kipp finishes off a great little back and forth. Second look here. Baird on the attack. Habello keeps it going. And it ends up with a kill for Kipp, but an easy smash up front for Vicini. How about on that last play, though? Off the foot. They keep it going. Happens every now and again. 19-7. 3-0 run for Stanford as they try and put this one to bed in 4. And aces like that never hurt. Cami Minor. What's that old movie, Trouble with the Curve? Cami Minor. Ooh, watch out. That one is sinking fast, low and away. 20-7. The tip here is in. Levinska not quitting. Her 14th kill. And now Marta Levinska will serve. 14 kills, 7 at digs, couple of blocks for the Latvian national teamer. Baird. And that's just wide for Katie Baird. So they stay with Levinska. Minor looking for Kip. Kip right there on the block effort, but can't keep it in play. We talked about her athleticism. So quick on that second jump right there, but just couldn't keep it in bounds. Arizona State to within 10 here, 20-10. They're on a 3-0 run of their own. Vicini on the quick set. Sun Devils ready. Here's Habello. Now Ogilvie looking Baird. Slams that off a block, and the Sun Devils will work back to Habello. She's stuffed. Try it again. A near collision on the back row as Rubin. Now it comes to Kip. Working into the bench. Jelly Sear taking out chairs on the hustle. Minor now. Vicini. Habello, back corner. The kill is there. Arizona State, the final word. On that rally right there, Habello, multiple chances. Sear taking out part of the bench to keep that one alive. And then Habello with the accuracy down the line and in. Kip. Rubin. Baird. Turned back, but out of play. And that will stop a 4-0 run for Arizona State. 21-11. Officials checking with the scores table here. And we play on. 21-11. Baird serving. Ace. Miscommunication on that back row for Arizona State. Between Levinska and Sear, they both went for it. Nobody got it. It's an ace for Baird. That's her first of the night. Levinska from the back row. Kip running out of real estate into the scores table. Couldn't get there in time, and the point to the Sun Devils. After that last Baird ace, now 7 aces tonight for Stanford, 5 for Arizona State. And now Habello will get her opportunity. Her squad trailing 22-12, down 2-1 overall. We're here in the 4th. Kip, roll shot, dug out by Sear. Minor now, back to Kip. This time goes fastball. Meeting at the net, we play on. Isanovich, stuffed. Reflexively pushes that one back up, third crack at it. Baird controls. Here's Rubin. Levinska off the back foot. Back to Rubin. Isanovich now. That's in for the kill. This Sun Devil squad, they have had the upper hand on some lengthy rallies. And they've got some hitters that will just keep swinging. Isanovich, Levinska, they don't care. Habello, 4th try, 5th try, they'll keep coming with a big right hand, a big left hand. 22-13. Kip comes right back. And now Ogilvy. Kip again. They keep it going. Rubin. Here's Rubin again. Ogilvy. And a violation against the Cardinal, a double hit. And the point to Arizona State. Sonia Tomasevich said it during the week. If Arizona State's passing is there, it doesn't even need to be great. If it's just good, they can be dangerous. And you see, when they have been able to hang tough, especially on these rallies where really it seems like a lost possession, they stay after it, they hustle, they're into the bench, into the table, onto the floor, and then their passing is able to clean it up and turn it into something. Rubin, oh, pure smoke. Just rockets that off Levinska, 23-14. And Ogilvy, Cardinal closing in on this one. Up 2-1, up 23-14 here in the fourth. Back set. Ogilvy on the scene. Here's Kip. The kill is there for Kendall Kip. And they're on their feet in Maples as we have match point here in the fourth. Elena Ogilvy to serve with match point, 24-14. Here's Minor to Kip. That's all. Kendall Kip drops the hammer to finish things off here in the fourth. 25-14. Stanford takes it in the fourth. They win this one 3-1. They pick up their 15th straight victory. They improve to 21-4 and 16-1 in the Pac-12. Arizona State drops to 11-18, 5-12 in Pac-12 play. Kendall Kip, 21 kills, 6 digs. Elia Rubin, 18 kills, 12 digs. McKenna Vicini, 10 kills. And Cami Minor, 41 assists, 17 digs. That's all for us here tonight from the farm. For our entire Pac-12 Network crew, Greg Meskel saying thanks for joining us, where Stanford wins it 3-1.